Hey, Pastor Steve here. Well, here we are wasting away again in Coronaville. I mean, man, it just seems like every day there's something new, right? And I want all of y'all who today, Wednesday at noon, you're not allowed to work. I mean, there's hair salons and a lot of you who are in that kind of industry. You're going, what do we do? And man, I know you've been working like crazy for the last day and a half trying to work people in and all that. But today is the day where you go, what do I do? And it's like that for a lot of people. And I want you to know we're praying for you and we're lifting you up, and there is hope beyond all of this. It reminds me of Psalm 40. Listen what David said in Psalm 40. I waited patiently for the Lord to help me, and he turned to me and he heard my cry. God's hearing your cries. God's ear is not deaf. He knows you can't work past today. He knows you're at home and you hadn't worked in a couple weeks and you don't know what to do. God knows all of that. And I love it when the Bible just reminds us God is listening. God is not distant. I waited patiently. It's hard, isn't it? You know, that time between I have a need and God meets the need, and I'm just crying out to God, and it can feel sometimes like God is silent when He's not. He's working things together for your good. I waited patiently for the Lord to help me, and He turned to me, and He heard my cry. You know what David's saying? God heard me. And God hears you. And then here's what he said. He lifted me out of the pit of despair, out of the mud and the mire. You know what David's saying? I was helpless to help myself. Nothing I could do. I'm in this pit. It's muddy and I can't get out. I can't climb out of it by myself. And you may feel like that right now on all kinds of levels. I'm in this hole and I can't get out. And there's no rope and there's no ladder. Nobody's there to help me. God knows where you're at. God heard David. God helped David. He lifted me out of the pit of despair. That's not just about my circumstances. That's about my heart. That's about what I'm feeling. That's about how I'm processing information. Because when you're in a hole, you get down. You are in despair. And it's not just, I can't change my circumstances. It's that what I feel is horrible. I'm scared. I'm worried. How's this going to happen? What if? What if it goes longer than anybody thinks? What if I never go back to work? I get it. So David said, here's what happened. He set my feet on solid ground, and he steadied me as I walked along. I mean, God just changed the circumstances. I took you out of this place that you were helpless. You couldn't get out of it. I took you out of it. But I didn't just take you out of it and walk away. I steadied you as you walked, because when you're in the hole, when you're worried, when you're in despair, you got to get your legs on. God's right there, making sure you're okay. He heard David. He helped David. And I love it when he says, He set my feet on solid ground. He steadied me as I walked along. He has given me a new song to sing, a hymn of praise to my God. You know what he's saying? He changed me. I literally went from circumstances that were horrible, the weight of that emotionally, to He took me out, provided what I need, and put a new song in my heart. He took me from despair to joy. And we got to remember that if we look to our circumstances for joy, we're going to be disappointed. We're going to be in despair. But when we look to God, you know what He does? He puts a new song in our heart. He lifts us up out of that hole, puts a new song in our heart. And you know what it is? When you feel like singing like that, you know what? You're having a good day, right? I mean, you are encouraged. You're focusing on the right things. And that's where God wants you to live. He put a new song in my heart, a hymn of praise to our God. And then He says, many will see what He has done and be amazed. They will put their trust in the Lord. So God heard David. He helped him. He changed him. And then He used him. God wants to do that for you. So maybe you're looking around right now and you're going, man, this is not good. And I'm not quite sure where to turn. Turn to God. And you know what? God's going to take that heaviness, that despair, put a song in your heart, change you, get you focused on the right things. And then people around you are going to go, well, man, I'm worried to death. How come you're not worried? Well, because I have a place to go that's not in that hole that you're in. I used to be down there. Now I'm out of that. And God put a song in my heart, a song of praise, because I know God. And I know He's got a plan. And the way things are right now, it's not going to be that way forever. But God changed the way I feel about the circumstances, then He used me. And God will do that for you. So be encouraged today. Look, God knows exactly where you're at. God knew what the governor was going to say. God knows what the orders may be next week for all of us. But our joy, our song, is not dependent on our circumstances, but our God who never changes. Get your focus on God. He's with you today. Lord bless you.